Okay, so when you guys say these Taylor's version tracks are awful, you're not listening to the stolen version instead, are you? Because we need to have a talk if you are. Hi, it's been a weird evening for me. I just got done crying over the 10-minute version of All Too Well. However, it was the Princess Diana version that somebody created on TikTok. It was a guy with Princess Diana hair, with Princess Diana outfit changes, changing the lyrics of All Too Well to fit her situation. And I was just ready to beat Prince Charles' ass at 11 p.m. I'm so sad. Your mother's telling stories about you on the polo team. You told me about your past, thinking your future was me, and you were tossing me the car keys. Fuck the monarchy. I just don't even know what to say after that. I'm in a weird mental space right now. Hey guys, it's Nicole. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more Taylor Swift content. I'm also posting twice a week, every week of December, and I'm going live every evening, so stay tuned for that. Today is going to be my third update to my unpopular Taylor Swift opinions series. I'll put a playlist up in the I have 2 other videos to this series. Basically what I do is have you guys submit your unpopular Taylor Swift opinions on my Instagram stories. I put a little submission box up every once in a while. If you want to participate in future unpopular opinions videos, go follow me at my Instagram. It is right here. I think from now on I want to do kind of like themed unpopular opinions videos. Today's is going to be everyone's unpopular opinions about Red Taylor's version. You guys did not hold back. I think that's something I really like about this anonymous aspect to it. So thank you to everyone who submitted an unpopular opinion. The first one is everything has changed. Taylor's version is 1,000 times better than the original. I think her and Ed's voices sound much better together now than they did then. I mean, they did sound really good together then, but like there's something magical about the way they sound together now, especially on like Run. I don't know, they're just very vocally compatible now, even later on. However, I feel like as far as the instruments go, it's a very acoustic song, which is a little easier to recreate than the more pop-centered ones. I know people feel very strongly about 22, I Knew You Were Trouble, and We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. I think those really heavily produced ones are just harder to replicate, but I think Everything Has Changed sounds a lot like the original. I wouldn't say like better or worse, probably a little bit better just because Taylor's vocals are improved. The next unpopular opinion is Everything Has Changed is the worst song on the standard edition, excluding The Vault. That's bold. The worst? You really pick Girl at Home, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together over Everything Has Changed. It's so cute. I'm actually really glad they chose to put Everything Has Changed on the album over Run. While I do really like Run, it feels more like an Ed Sheeran song. I just feel like it would have fit better on one of his albums, especially with the Running from the Law parallel it shares with Castle on the Hill. And it's a little bit long. I just feel like Everything Has Changed is like just that little bit better. State of Grace isn't a good opening track on Red Taylor's version, but it was on the original. So what would you put in its place on the Taylor's version edition? I think it's even better on Red Taylor's version. The production is so crisp and clean. Like, oh my god, that was such an experience to listen to it from start to finish, as I did in my reaction. I think there's some really intricate details to it that weren't as apparent in the original recording. The We and We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together Taylor's version is annoying. I think this is a pretty popular opinion actually. It's the first thing I noticed about that song. But the thing is, I listened to one of those accounts that do a split headphone comparison between the stolen version and Taylor's version. The We sounds exactly the same. The thing is, she had a lot brighter of a tone then, and it seems like for some reason the only word that has that bright tone in Taylor's version is literally just the we, and I don't understand why. I feel like maybe they tried to stress that. I feel like they altered it a little bit. I feel like the rest of her vocals don't have as much alteration going on. The we has to. It has to. It sounds so nuts. 22 is better, but We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together sounds kind of weird. I like it, but it's different. I agree. I think out of those 3 really electronic songs, I Knew You Were Trouble, 22, and We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, 22 sounds the best out of all of them. We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together would be my second choice out of those 3, and I Knew You Were Trouble for me lost so much bass. There's like no bass in it anymore, and I'm so upset about it. I also listened to the split headphone version of that, and in the stolen version there's just so much more of a powerful bass, and in Taylor's version it's just like not there. Like, did you forget to put it in? I guess it's just the vocal editing is different. That's what I see as far as We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together goes. The moment I knew Taylor's version hits so much harder. Hard agree on this one. Oh my god. I talked about this in my reaction reaction, but The Moment I Knew It and Come Back Be Here had a way of like really blending together in this weird muddy way when you would listen to the Stolen album all the way through, but they feel like very distinct songs that stand on their own now. I previously would have thought those two songs shouldn't be right next to each other on a track listing, but now it's like they do stand out from each other. I think the production is a lot better overall on both of those. So yeah, The Moment I Knew It hits. The beat is really nice. Better Man is the best vault track. It's fun. It's a fun moment, but I think there are much better ones. I guess this is my controversial opinion. Well, no, I do kind of agree with what people say though. I love to talk about how amazing Ronin is. That's one of my top Taylor Swift songs. Like it's even higher than top 10. Like it's anything above like top 25 for me is like god tier, completely flawless. And when I first saw people saying how you like almost shouldn't talk about Ronin or songs like Marjorie or Soon You'll Get Better or The Best Day, I almost feel attacked. I think the problem arises when people rank them very low, because it's like when I see that, I do get this guttural urge of like, who told you could do that? But for me, if I wasn't allowed to rank those songs, I wouldn't have a top 10. That's why I feel not strongly, but like some type of way about it. Those are my favorite Taylor Swift songs of all time. All of those really sensitive, heart-wrenching ones that people skip because they make you cry. I do skip them sometimes too because I just am not in the mood to cry. I just think they're the greatest songs she's ever written. That's why I refuse to ignore them. Some people didn't even react to Ronin, and that kind of broke my heart because I wanted to discuss it. I mean, there was no critiquing. I don't know. I like to hear people talk about those tracks, I guess. And maybe this isn't that controversial. It's just my take on how a lot of people find those really taboo, I guess. I understand the not ranking, especially if people are gonna rank it at the bottom, because like if you are, I don't even want to hear it. But yeah, I really do like to talk about those tracks, and I think Ronin and All Too Well 10-minute version, those are the best ones. Nothing New is also a favorite of mine, but honestly, I really like the Red Vault tracks a lot more than Fearless. Other than Mr. Perfectly Fine, the other ones didn't really stand out to me too much, but like with the Vault tracks on Red, it's like those are serious hidden gems that we got there. I don't know, it's hard after listing All Too Well 10-minute version, Ronin, and Nothing New. The others just all kind of fall into the next category down, and none of them are really above each other, I guess. I don't know, my least two favorite might be Run and Message in a Bottle, but those aren't even disliked songs. It's very hard for me to rank the Vault tracks on Red. They're also good. The beginning of Sad, Beautiful, Tragic with the bell sounds is much better than the original. I always thought that effect at the beginning of Sad, Beautiful, Tragic was a like ceramic bowl on top of a counter or something, like spinning. Does that make sense? Not like spinning, but like when you set something down carelessly that is like a container and it's hard and it makes that noise of like, not like that at all, Nicole. I hope this is communicating through because I can't figure out any other way to describe it. It's a very ceramic sound to me. I don't think it's a bell unless you're talking about something else, in which case maybe I need to re-listen. I actually thought it sounded exactly the same. I thought it sounded good both times. I had two people who said The Very First Night is the best Vault track. Are they excluding All Too Well 10-minute version and Ronin though? If they are, yeah, it's pretty high up there other than Nothing New. Someone else said other than All Too Well, Message in a Bottle and The Very First Night are the best Vault tracks. Those are the most poppy ones, so maybe that's your preference of genre. Message in a Bottle, it has its time, but it definitely is a little bit cheesy, a little bit like bubblegum pop, radio friendly type of thing. And the lyrics aren't my favorite. I really like The Very First Night though. There's a really nice bass line in there. Holy Ground Taylor's version and Wildest Dreams Taylor's version are awful. That's really gutsy. That's really gutsy. Wildest Dreams sounds the same to me, other than her vocal improvements and it sounding maybe slightly less manic, just because emotions fade with time. Holy Ground is better. Holy Ground is better. Okay, so when you guys say these Taylor's version tracks are awful, you're not listening to the stolen version instead, are you? Because we need to have a talk if you are. Or I guess unless you have the physical copy of the CD. There are ways to get around being an unethical listener. The Taylor's version of Babe is better than the original. I love the What About Your Promises part. What was Sugarland doing not including that in there? I like both, but I'm going to listen to Taylor's because it is her song. I don't really need anybody else in it. I can really appreciate the music video she did with Sugarland though. That was a lot of fun. I actually like the Taylor's version of I Knew You Were Trouble. Are there a lot of people who agree with me and think it's not quite right? If this is an actually unpopular opinion. I haven't seen what a lot of people are thinking online though, so I don't know which of these are actually unpopular or not. The bass just needs to go harder. It really needs to. Other than that, it's pretty much fine. I'm so sad about my missing bass line. The Last Great American Dynasty and The Lucky One are sisters. I actually think Starlight and The Last Great American Dynasty are sisters. I think The Lucky One and Nothing New are sisters. Someone else said The Lucky One is top 3. After I got this submission, I sat there and thought about it, and I think I do agree with you. My top 3 is All Too Well, of course, the full version. Are we counting the vault tracks? Because if we are, I don't think The Lucky One is top 3. But if we're not, Starlight and The Lucky One. I do really like I Knew You Were Trouble too, though. This is really tough, guys. I don't know if I agree or not. The Lucky One is really up there for me, though. So I see where you're coming from. A lot of people don't appreciate Starlight and The Lucky One, though, and that makes me sad. Nothing New is overrated. You know, we're just gonna move on from that. And someone else said I wanted Nothing New to be longer. I think it's a good length. I honestly wouldn't want something that dragged on and then became even less appreciated. I really like the pacing. I like the chorus. I think she said all she needed to be said. That writing in that song is very concise. She says exactly what she needs to say in not too many words, and I can appreciate that, even though I love a good 10-minute long saga. The production on normal All Too Well is better than the 10-minute version. I kind of agree with this. I really like the acoustic production. It's very guitar centered. The guitar solos are a lot more prominent, I think, but I also love the 80s beat of the 10-minute version and the piano and all of the woodwind and brass instruments that are kind of hidden under everything on the 10-minute version. It's a tough choice to make. I kind of want her to put out another 10-minute version that is in the same style of the original All Too Well, because we have the Sad Girl Autumn version, we now have a Princess Diana version, we have this 80s original one that was released, but like I just want like one more. Like, can I just have one more, Taylor? You gave us like 16 Willow remixes. Like, can we please just have one more? The outro of All Too Well gets a little repetitive and lengthy. I see what you mean, but I still am really checked in while the outro is happening because I love the melody. I love that she takes lyrics that she sang earlier in the song and she changes the melody of them. I love that it goes from wind in my hair to wind in my hair. I think that's so creative. It definitely is. I saw somebody complaining how like, oh, she cheated us out of this. It's pretty much just like an 8.5 minute long song with this like outro that takes up the rest of the time. And like, yeah, I see that. But I don't know, I'm happy with the outro. I really liked how it was done when she played it live too. It's tough, I can't really pick a side. I've listened to All Too Well 5 minutes once and still haven't listened to the album in order in full. This isn't really an opinion, but you have some homework after this video. Yeah, you're gonna have to get on that. I think it's such an experience to listen to the entire thing in full length, even though, God, it's a process. It is a time commitment. You're gonna have to like clear out an evening to do that. Girl at Home Taylor's version is worse than the original. Okay, but like how though? I saw somebody online comparing the original Girl at Home to just like a demo, and honestly, after they pointed that out, I think that's what it was. It was a bonus track. I think it wasn't fully produced how she wanted it. Maybe, I don't know, I guess we'll never know unless somebody asks her in an interview. I want interviewers who ask like the real questions, you know? I think Taylor's version is better. It's a lot more dynamic. I think Elvira is a badass female producer. Someone else said Girl at Home Taylor's version is good. I don't know what y'all mean when you say it's bad. It's so much better. I full-heartedly agree. Run is one of the best vault tracks and it's super underrated from what I've seen. The thing is, if Run would have been a vault track on Fearless, for example, I think it would have been a lot more appreciated just because of what it would have been compared to. But with Red, all of those are so good that it's like the one that is the least good. Even if it's fantastic, it's just going to be underappreciated. The only thing I can say about it is it's a little bit long. I think it's really pretty and I think their voices sound amazing together. However, it does give me Ed Sheeran album vibes and it just is a little bit long. I feel like they just repeat that whole run, darling, let's run hook over and over, and it's like, okay, we get it now. Honestly, the only vault track I've really been listening to is just the 10-minute version. Like, I had to memorize all of those lyrics. First of all, I had to really soak it in. Of course, I was listening to it every time I rewatched the short film. There's just been a lot of overconsumption of the 10-minute version. I think all of the vault tracks are underrated other than that one, honestly, because we've just been paying so much attention to the 10-minute version. Okay, and that is all of the submissions that I got. As I said before, if you want to participate, make sure to follow me on my Instagram. I will also be updating you guys on my community tab every time I decide to make a new one of these so that you guys know to go be active on Instagram and check my stories so you know that the submission box is there. Please let me know down below which of these unpopular opinions you agreed with or disagreed with. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it. I'd love to make more of these for you guys if you want me to, but you have to let me know. And I think that's all. If you want to follow me on my Instagram, it is right here again. And if you want to follow me on my TikTok, that is right here. And I hope you have an amazing day. Bye, guys.